Hello and welcome to Module 2, Grow Your Money. We finished off Module 1 talking about saving. The whole purpose of that module was to save as much as we can, and we talked about controlling our spending, maximising our income, and minimising our tax as legally as possible so that we had as much as possible to save. In this module, we're going to talk about what we do with those savings. It's really important that we actually do something with those savings to create more money with them, to put our money to work for us, because each year our money is worth less and less. If we just leave it in the bank, in 30 years' time, it's going to be worth very little to us. We need our money to grow. We also need to create a passive income. We talked about active incomes in the last module, that earning an income from your work, whether it's a business or a commissions-based one or just a straight up salary or wage. In this one, we're going to be talking about passive income, the money that our assets are going to pay us. That passive income is what is going to make us financially independent because we won't have to have a wage anymore. We won't need to rely on that to meet our basic needs and to have the lifestyle that we want. And that is why it's so important. In this module, we're going to be talking about assets. What's the definition of an asset? We're going to be talking about what we look for in our assets, growth and yield, yield being the passive income piece. We're going to talk about some typical types of investments that you've probably heard of before, specifically property and shares. They're the two most common that get talked about. We'll run through some maths. Don't worry, we'll keep it simple. And there are plenty of spreadsheets for you to use if you prefer not to do the maths yourself. We're also going to be talking about borrowing and debt. It's really important to understand how debt works. It's where a lot of people can get trapped. And we can use debt for good when we're talking about growth. We'll talk a bit more about that later on. We'll also be talking about retirement funds. So IRAs, 401ks, superannuation funds, whatever it is in your country. Those fit into our investment picture, to our assets, and they're going to be producing an income for us. So we'll be talking about them too. Really looking forward to this module. This is the really important one. I hope you find it as enjoyable as I do. See you in that first lesson. We're going to be talking about earning passively. Bye.